Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel for another unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today it's a new one on me, we're going to be taking a look at the Y Studio, I believe it's called the Chainsaw Butcher or just Chainsaw. It's essentially an unlicensed figure of Leatherface from the 1974 movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, as viewers to my channel will know, I'm a huge horror fan, have a rather large section in my collection just dedicated to horror, old and new, right the way back to black and white movies through the Universal monsters, right the way through up to the modern horror films. So, yeah, a massive horror fan, but conspicuous by their absence in my collection are a Jason Voorhees and a Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They've always been on my radar as figures that I'd like to get to complement that part of my collection, but I've just never got round to. So I saw this. I've never heard of Y Studio before, but the promo shots look quite good, so I thought I'd take a punt, so to speak, and just jump in. So that's the background on me acquiring this figure. So, as always, what we'll be doing is we'll be taking a look at the box, and then it'll be a dive down onto the table to have a look at all the accessories that come with your Leatherface figure. Then it'll be out with the figure itself, onto its stand, onto the turntable. We'll have a close-up look at the menace to society himself, and then it'll be over to the Detolf for a mini showcase, having a look at how the figure itself displays under the Detolf lights. So yeah, the box itself is very, very simple, as you can see. It's just this sort of plain yellow design. This is a slipcover over a black shoebox. The black shoebox has nothing on it. So yeah, it's very, very plain indeed. There's a mild pattern in there. It says the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the top, although they have conveniently put a gap between chain and saw. Maybe that helped with licensing issues. It says Y Studio down the bottom there. I'll flip it round. Y Studio on the side. That same yellow pattern is continued. And on the back, we've got Y Studio. There's an eye, a chainsaw, and some warnings at the bottom. Don't piss this figure off or it'll hang you by a meat hook. And really, that's it. Very, very simple. Very, very plain packaging. One thing I did notice is the heft of this box. This box is really, really heavy. It's a brand new figure to me. It literally arrived yesterday, and it's just gone straight in front of the camera. So it's a voyage of discovery for all of us. But yeah, there is certainly some heft to this box. Very heavy indeed. So without further ado, we'll do as we always do. Let's dive down onto the table and take a look at all the accessories you get with your Leatherface figure. Okay, so here we are down on the table with all the accessories that come with your Y Studio Leatherface figure. I have got to be honest at this point. I'm going to reach out to everybody out there. Have you ever had that sinking feeling when you open a figure up and you start to get the bits and pieces out and you think, what the hell is going on here? I just had a huge dollop of that, but we'll push on. We'll forge on regardless. I'm going to have to say at the outset here, I am not a huge expert on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I have seen it several times and enjoyed it, but I am no expert. So if I can get some help in the comment section from people out there about screen accuracy and things like that, it would be really useful. So yeah, let's take a look at these accessories, and unusual they are too. The heft of the box was explained when I got the accessories out, but we'll go through that. There's a lot of metal in here, and some polystone as well. But yeah, let's start with the hands, as we always do. You know me and my hand fetish. There's only 5 hands in total. There's 2 open palm hands already on the figure, and we've got these 3 hands as well. Now, let's take a look at the hands themselves. These are very, very basic. I'm going to just shift the lighting around here so that it can pick pick up the detailing on these hands, or lack of it, shall we say? Yeah. It's just very, very basic sculpting. It's the plastic is sort of medium in its give, and yeah, you've got a gripping hand. You've got an open palm hand here. Very basic sculpting, as you can see. The plastic is not of the best quality, I'll be honest. And another gripping hand here as well. I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room straight away because you can't miss it. Everything is covered in this. I'm going to call it blood paint, but it's not blood paint. I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but the paint on the hands here, the paint on the vast majority of the accessories themselves comes off as a sort of purple, and totally unconvincing. But we'll get into that in a little bit more detail. So yeah, there are your hands, not particularly good quality and covered in, purple paint. So yeah, we'll put those to one side. If you hear my voice, gradually going during this review, it's because I'm losing the will to live. Where shall we go next? Let's take a look at this. I'm not really sure how to describe this. I'm assuming it's meant to be a severed head. The hair feels like cotton wool. That purple paint is all over it. There's purple paint on the face there. I'm not even sure that this is plastic, this face. It looks just like some kind of random throwaway sculpt that's been stuck to a piece of polystyrene and then some rather bad hair stuck to it. I mean, as far as screen accuracy goes, I could be wrong here. Please correct me in the comment section if I am. There weren't any severed heads in this film. Not that I can remember. I think most of the murders were actually committed with a hammer. I mean, to call it the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a bit of a misnomer because I think there was only one kill with a chainsaw, maybe two. But I don't remember any severed heads, and especially not ones of, let's call it what it is. It's awful. It is really appalling. I wouldn't give this to my dog as a toy. Never mind put it in a detail to display. So let's put that to one side. On the theme of severed heads, you get this metal bucket. It's all metal. It's been weathered. I'll give them that. They put some weathering on there, but then proceeded to completely destroy all of the good work they did with the weathering by covering it in purple paint. It does have, it's perhaps a little unfair. It does have some red in it, but under natural light, now obviously we're not filming under natural light, but under natural light, it just comes off as purple, as you can probably see there. It's just purple. And inside this, and I'll try and get this into camera so you can see it. Let's angle it a little bit. There's another severed head of the same high quality as this one. And there's also a hand as well. It's covered in that purple paint, that same awful cheap hair with purple paint in it. And yeah, it really, it's not inspiring me, this. So we'll put that to one side. And it's not the gore. I'm a huge gore fan, a horror fan, as you know. It's what's really getting me down here is just the overall quality. But let's soldier on. Let's take a look at some of the weapons. We've got a set of 3 knives. Now, these are all, to Y Studios' credit, these are all metal. You've got a sculpted handle there. There's some weathering on there. The paintwork is not brilliant. I'll try and get this camera to focus. As you can see, that silver paintwork on there is patchy, to say the least. And the silver paint's actually been bled onto the knife handle itself. The paintwork is poor. The sculpting is poor as well. And any good qualities this knife might have had were lost when they slapped a load of purple paint on it just to finish it off. So that's that one. There's a slightly larger one. Same story here. Pretty poor paint applications and smothered in purple paint, so that we know exactly which figure this one goes with. There's a cleaver as well. Same story with the cleaver. Same low quality of sculpt. The only saving grace here is that they're made of metal. Everything else is pretty car crash, to be honest. So I'll put that to one side. Let's talk about this hammer, if I can pick it up. This hammer is one piece. Well, I mean, is it 2 pieces joined together? But it's solid metal. This thing actually weighs a ton. There's not a hope in hell that this figure's ever going to be able to grip this. Never mind raise it to shoulder level or head height. I'll give you an example. Listen to this. That's solid metal. Yeah, and it is ridiculously heavy. And apart from the fact that it should be plastic, It's completely not screen accurate as far as I can tell. The head is way too big. It's the wrong shape. The handle is not long enough. It had a hexagonal, as I can remember from the film. I'm sure people correct me if I'm wrong. It was hexagonal at one end. It was no way this big, and it tapered off to a point at the other side. So what this is, I don't know. But yeah, and well, lost for words, but we'll keep going. The sculpting's appalling. The paintwork is negligible. It looks like they've just painted it black and then splashed some more of that purple paint on it, which is lost in the black anyway. So yeah, that's the hammer. Let's put that to one side. Let's take a look at the chainsaw. This is all one piece of plastic, all one piece of sculpted plastic. The paintwork on here is not good. We've got the same issues that we have with all the other accessories. If I bring this close into the camera, you'll see there's a bleeding of the paintwork here. It looks like it was painted on a Friday night by a 3-year-old. Yeah, you can see that it's just not been painted in the right places. There's no accuracy at all. It looks like there's been an attempt to weather this thing with some and dirty it up with some dry brushing on the yellow sections. But it doesn't make up for the fact that, the paintwork is slapdash, to say the least. Let's talk about this blade. Where to begin? Once again, all one piece of sculpted plastic, covered in that wonderful purple paint, and we've got purple paint on here as well. And at the end here, we've got hair stuck to the chainsaw. I'm really at a loss as to why that's there. I don't believe any portion of the film he actually chained somebody through the top of their head. And if he did, I most certainly don't remember him walking around carrying a chainsaw with hair still stuck to it. So yeah, it looks like they've taken some of that really, really nasty, cheap hair off these two heads and stuck it to the end of the chainsaw just to finish it off properly. So yeah, that's your chainsaw. There's this severed foot. Now, where to begin? Yeah, it's just all one solid piece of sculpted plastic. There's no attempt at actually doing any kind of detailing here in the severed section. Maybe bone or flesh that you see on some horror severed limb figures. This is just a very cheap foot that's been chopped off and then painted with that same nasty purple paint, and there's not even been an attempt to make it look authentic. It just like somebody's got a brush and slapped it all over. There's no speckling, there's no streaking, as you would get with blood effects. It just looks like this person's got a very poor purple sock on before their leg was removed or the foot was removed. So yeah, that's the foot. Finally, thank God we're coming to a close on the accessories. The base itself. Now, this thing has some real heft to it. I think this is probably polystone, to be honest with you, because there's no way this is plastic. The sheer weight of this thing is it's phenomenal. It's very, very heavy. And what you've got is there's felt on the bottom there. So if you're having this figure in your display, it won't move around. That's one good thing. Polystone base, and on top you've got this polystone effect wood. And you've got this red effect around the edges here. I'm going to actually say this, these boards are painted quite well. The wood effect on top of the polystone is actually quite good. It looks like they've used a completely different type of paint here as well for the blood spatter and blood effect. So you've got purple and then sort of a bright red. They've completely missed the right tone for blood completely here. The spatter effect is quite good. It's a pity they couldn't get that anywhere else other than on the base and on the weapons. But probably the best thing so far is the base. So that's the base. Comes with a standard issue crotch grabber, which fits in there. So there's your base. So that's the accessories. That's everything you get with your Leatherface from Y Studio. And the first thing that strikes me is they're living up to their name. Why? Why have they done this? But Okay, we're here for a subjective review. That wasn't the best start. Maybe it'll be made up by the figure itself. So without further ado, let's bring Leatherface out. Let's get him onto this immense stand and onto the turntable and take a look at the figure itself. Okay, so here he is, Leatherface himself, out of the box, onto the stand, onto the turntable, no accessories, and first impressions, yes. Massacre springs to mind, most certainly, but not the kind that we want. Yeah, lost for words. I think I'll let the pictures speak for themselves. We'll do what we always do and have a once over with this figure, just for kicks, just for laughs. It's when I stopped crying, I started laughing hysterically, and I pretty much haven't stopped since. It's given me the best laugh anyway I've had in a long time. But you know, let's soldier on. We'll start with those. Let's stop the turntable from spinning first of all, as we always do, and let's get this guy front and center. I'll just rearrange this lighting so you can. I was about to say see him in all his glory, but that's. I'm just going to move this camera a little bit further back as well, so you can take in the stunning quality that we're looking at here. Yeah, so let's start with the feet. They're all one piece of sculpted plastic, these shoes, and as far as I can tell, they are not screen accurate. I believe in the film, and please correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, that Gunnar Hansen, when he was playing Leatherface, wore cowboy boots. So yeah, these shoes are wrong. Underneath this apron that we'll come to, we have got some very poor cotton stroke, maybe canvas, brown trousers that are they're discoloured, shall we say. They're grey in places, sort of purpley brown in other places. I actually think that they're meant to be grey, and I'm not sure what colour trousers Leatherface wore in the film, to be perfectly honest with you. But it looks like they're grey, and then they've been attacked with the same frenzy, shall we say, with the purple paint that we saw earlier. But yeah, let's. This is why, by the way, this is why it's staying up. So, but we'll come back to that apron. We'll spin it around. Yeah, it looks like yeah, the grey trousers, which have now got huge purple patches on them, which is nice. The body underneath is padded from the knees up, obviously to give it that those Gunnar Hansen proportions. He was a hefty chap. It's padded all the way through the stomach, through the shoulders, down the arms, and even into the bicep area itself as well. But yeah, the quality of the material is okay on the shirt. It's probably it feels like it's the same material as the actual trousers themselves. I'm trying to muster something good to say about this, but I'm struggling. Let's take a look at this apron. And it's the first thing that struck me. The only saving grace in this apron is the fact that it's wired. It's wired up the sides here, and it's wired down at the front, so you can do stuff with it if you want to pose it. But I mean, you're limited anyway. I mean, it's not as though, I mean, I suppose if you were trying to capture the chainsaw frenzy section at the end of the film, then maybe it would be good for lifting to one side, or giving some sort of dynamicness to the figure itself. But that's about the only good thing I've got to say about this. I believe in the figure in the film, the apron that he wore, the butcher's apron that he wore, was plastic. It was yellow plastic, and this is a cotton. So as a result, the red stroke purple blood effect has simply soaked into the cotton itself, and it just looks. It's a disaster. Well, let's face it, it's a disaster. It looks appalling. Possibly salvageable with some decent blood effect paint, but I'm not sure whether it's worth salvaging, to be honest with you. Yeah, so that's the apron. The actual well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. This shirt underneath the apron. I'm not sure whether this apron is removable. It probably is. There's a bow at the back here, but I'm not going to take it off. I might get even more upset if I do that. The shirt itself is plain white cotton, with a tie. From recollection, the actual shirt that Gunnar Hansen wore was a pink pinstripe, not white. It wasn't plain white. And also as well, if this much blood has gone on your apron, there's going to be some on the shirt. But instead what we've got are, I don't know if the camera's picking this up, I'll bring it in a little bit closer so you can see, we've got smears of purple paint that, to be honest with you, it just looks like someone's taken a brush and just gone like this. Across the shoulders, down the back, and on the sleeves with purple paint. Yeah, it looks to be a relatively cheap body underneath. Now I know this is third party, and it comes at a price point. So expecting something like Hot Toys and In Art quality, I wasn't, but I wasn't expecting something as car crash as this. But yeah, let's carry on. So yeah, you've got what feels like a really thin body that's been heavily padded underneath. The shirt has no screen accuracy and has been badly painted. The forearms are super thin, and it just throws the whole thing off. With the padding underneath, you've got those Gunnar Hansen proportions, but then all of a sudden you've got these twig-like arms coming down, which make no sense at all. And then, to add insult to injury, they've been attacked again with the purple paint. And how somebody's arms would get this bloody and then there'd be no blood on this white shirt, is impossible. It just wouldn't happen. But it's almost as though this red paint has been put on here to cover up the fact that these arms just aren't in proportion. Props, I suppose, on the wristband that he's wearing with the little decorations on it. This is all plastic. I believe there's a metal chain with plastic decorations on it. That's relatively screen accurate. He did have that on in the film. The tie itself is made out of what feels like a polyester stroke nylon material with a print on it. The print, the design, I believe, is right, but I think that colour's wrong. From my recollection, I believe that wasn't blue; it was purple. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, let's get to the elephant in the room. What, in the name of all that's holy, is going on with that head? First issue here is the mask itself. Straight out of the box, it came like this. Now, the mask here, the human skin mask, is made out of metal for some strange reason. Only known to Y Studios, they decided to make this thing metal. I don't know what was supposed to be adhering it to this head sculpt, but whatever it is, it's come away, and so it came out of the box like this. But yeah, we'll forge on. The mask in its sculpt looks relatively accurate, but the paintwork on there, to me, is completely wrong. This is a dark grey. Now, from recollection, obviously that mask is made out of human skin. It was a much lighter colour than that. Yeah. What I'll do is I'm actually going to take this off the stand and bring this into camera so you can see it properly. Maybe swing these lights around so we can get a bit more light on this, just to see for comedy value more than anything else. So it's a metal mask. There's some attempt at sculpting some stitching in there. Now, it's actually quite amusing if I pop that forward. I don't know whether you can see that. The face underneath is hilarious. But yeah, and it does look like there's some glue in that hairline that's come away. The glue obviously not able to support the full weight of this metal. You'll probably see this more when I attempt to display it under the Detolf lights, but you can actually see the eyes and the mouth under there. And to be honest with you, they look like they'd been painted, I'm not saying in a hurry, but just badly. This is the sort of paintwork for mouth and eyes that you'd see on a very cheap doll. So yeah, that's the head sculpt. Let's move on to this rooted hair. Yeah. Yeah. Lost for words on this one. I'm not a rooted hair fan at the best of times. It has to be done properly or not at all, as far as I'm concerned. And this hasn't been done properly. It's very, very cheap hair, and it's just been stuck on with glue. around this mask. There's a metal attachment there. I don't know whether you can see that. There's a metal attachment which is glued to the back of the head, which is then attached by pieces of string, which is relatively screen accurate. I mean, the mask itself, the shape anyway, is relatively screen accurate, but yeah, some interesting design and material decisions, shall we say, on this figure. So let's get him back on the stand if he'll go on. And yeah, there you have it. That is your Leatherface figure from Y Studios. And I pose the question again, why? I'm trying to, as I say, think of good things to say about this. The mask sculpt is okay. The fact that they've wired this apron, even though it's the wrong material, and the blood spatter effects are awful. Base is pretty good. Might be handy for another horror figure that doesn't have that'd be good for an Evil Dead figure, or some such. But yeah, let's get him spinning again, before I fall into terminal depression. So yeah, there you have it. What we're going to do is what we always do, is we're going to jump over to the detail and try and do a mini showcase with this guy. I'm going to try and get something out of him at least in the display. So see if there's anything salvageable with this figure. Yeah, it's, to me, this represents all that's bad in the 1/6 scale world. There's no thought gone into this, no care, no attention. If you've seen the thumbnail for this video, the promo shots, the shots of the production model are actually on that thumbnail, and they just do not match this at all. I mean, we expect some variation from a production model, a prototype, but this, it just bears no resemblance to that whatsoever. It literally looks like it's been made by somebody else. Looks like it was made on a Saturday afternoon by a group of 3-year-olds. In fact, they could probably have done a better job. But yeah, as I say, this is, to me, this represents everything that's bad in 1/6 scale figure collecting. It's done without care. It's done without any love. It's done without any accuracy or due care and attention. It's just simply a cash grab. But yeah, not a note I like to leave these reviews on, but unfortunately that's the way it is. So all it remains for me to say is thank you for watching this debacle. I hope you've got some pleasure out of it. I know there's not much to be had, but yeah, take care of yourselves. What we got coming up? Thank goodness we've got some Hot Toys coming up. We've got Hot Toys Dead Strange. We've got Hot Toys Dutch Schaefer from Predator, the body swap one that we're going to be reviewing. Lots of other stuff as well. Hopefully Caustic Plastic are going to be stepping in the near future to redeem my love of horror with the Horror of Dracula double set, the Van Helsing and Christopher Lee duo, which I'm really looking forward to. And a raft of other stuff as well, new and retro as well, that we'll be reviewing. So all it remains for me to say is thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button, that bell notification icon, so you don't miss any of the content that's coming up. And yeah, I'd really appreciate your comments on this one. What are your thoughts on this? Am I missing something? Is this better than I think it is? Please let me know in the comment section down below. So yeah, take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.